Hi everyone. Today we have an especially illicit unboxing. We're going to unbox a kilo. You could get everything online these days. Yeah, so I wonder where this came from. Un producto de Colombia. Let's see here. Yep, that's good stuff. I'm kidding, guys. This is really just a package from AliExpress. But do you see this? How do they ship stuff like this? Why? And by the way, this is baking soda. But do you see my point? Don't they know I have priors? No, I'm kidding. But still, I can't believe that they even shipped it like this. It's getting everywhere now. But anyways, how did they ship it like this? I really don't get that. Ugh, powder's everywhere now. It's making us unfocus. Thank you. Alright, but yeah, and this one it came in from Switzerland, which is really strange. I don't know why all these packages are coming in from Europe, because usually, always when I would buy something from AliExpress or DX or anything, you know, one of these Asian websites, they would always come in from Asia. And in fact, it even said the seller was from mainland China, so I don't get it. I don't know what's going on there. But either way, let's unbox this now. Let's see what this is. Let's see what's in this queso. Let's see. There we go. God, I can't believe somebody actually wrapped it like this. It was when I went to go pick it up at the post office, because I got one of those little cards that said like, "Hey, we missed you. Come down to the post office and pick up your package." I saw the package and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a sting operation." It's like, "All right, come on, let's get this over with." No. And remember, kids, winners don't use drugs. But if you're a loser, if you're losing on stuff, then you might want a few drugs to pick you up, you know? Try salvia. That's a really nice high. And it's like legal everywhere. Let's see. They really packaged this stuff really tight. Alright. I think I just made it worse. But oh well, you could see that it is a package from a company called Joyu. There we go. And you'll see that it is sort of a PSP clone. And so now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like, yeah, dude, that must be some good shit. You're still buying these stupid PSP clones. Come on, didn't you learn your lesson the last time? But you'll actually find out that there's a reason why I wanted to get this one. Let me see if it says it here on the box. I don't think it will, but let me get to that reason in just a bit. First of all, let's look at these. The package is really, really good quality, and even these little logos, they have like holograms and stuff. It's really high tech. Okay, so it has touchscreen, 32-bit, 16-bit flash, music, video. That's a weird image. I wonder if that's from a game or a little movie that's loaded on there. Who the heck knows? And it's like a Street Fighter thing that the kids are playing. Try to see if you can see that. It's like, it looks like maybe Rio versus Blanca? I don't know. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, Joyu is actually a really interesting company, because I've been part of like this members forum of this console, the Dingo A320, which was pretty popular back in the day, because it's this little Chinese handheld, and this is like the first emulation handheld, at least the first one I'm aware of. But it was really fascinating because it didn't have mass market appeal. This might be the first time some of you have ever seen this, but it didn't have mass market appeal, but in the niche market it was very popular, because there was never anything like this before it. I mean, this is before Android phones or anything. So the thought that you could carry around a Super NES and NES emulator everywhere was just amazing. I could even do Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, everything like that. So that was really fascinating, and eventually the console got old. It kind of reached its peak of what was possible on it. And the forums, they've moved to other stuff, especially now that Android has come around. That is a huge part of the forum. I mean, I would say it's almost surpassed the A320 part of it all. But it was really interesting because then out of nowhere, this company, Joyu, they made this console called the A320 Plus. And that one, it was almost like an updated version of the A320. And it was just so fascinating because, I mean, we'd never heard of this company before, and I don't know if we ever did find out who was behind it. I think I heard, and I'm probably wrong on this, but I could have sworn that I heard that the people who made the A320 Plus, the people at Joyu, they're the same people who made the A320. So that would just blow my mind. And unfortunately, though, the homebrew and modding scene, it didn't really pick up on the A320 Plus. I guess maybe they just didn't have the tools or the software development stuff as readily available as they did for the A320. And because of that, it never really took off, and it just kind of languished and never really became anything. It was never as popular as the A320. So, and plus I think a big part of that was also just the fact that Android is such a huge force today that I think the days of the A320 and everything are over. I don't think that we'll have little emulation consoles like that again. Again, I just think it's just that Android is really taken over. But either way, let's see what's inside here. And and I didn't mention the most important thing. The reason that I wanted to get this one, though, is because on AliExpress, and like I said, I knew all about that Joyu and A320 Plus, and this one's actually called the S430, I think? Yeah, there you go. It's called the S430. The reason I got this, though, is because on the AliExpress advertisement where this was sold, it says that it will run Dingux. Now, Dingux is a special version of Linux that runs on the A320, and that's what the little A320 Owners Club, what they've sort of like built into that console, and it really makes the emulators run better. It lets you run all these homebrew apps and everything. And so if this thing runs Dingux, that would be really, really cool. I don't know if it does or not. Let's go ahead and just go in it and see what it has. Let's see. Oh, wait. You don't cut that. You cut it along here. There we go. That's a tab. There we go. Joyu. You see, the presentation on this is so much better. I mean, go back to that previous video with the Super S100A, I think it was. Go in there and you'll just see that this thing, look, there's even a foam cushion that protects this Joyu part from the top of the cardboard. The presentation is just so much more elaborate. Look at this little piece of, I don't know what kind of paper this is, but it's really nice stuff. It makes me want to bundle it together once I'm done and make sure that, let's take a look at this later, make sure that everything's in its place. Look at this. Look at how, I'm amazed by the packaging. I really am an unboxing dork. Alright, let's see. Joyu. Enjoy game, enjoy your life. That's the motto of my life right there. I wonder if every box has a different message, kind of like a fortune cookie. That would be cool. I'd do that. Let's see. Okay, these are just headphones, and they actually seem like really cool headphones. Look at that. I'm really amazed by the quality of what they're packaging this with. I wonder if it's actually going to match that quality once you plug them in and everything, but let's see. And then this is mini USB to full USB. Look, and they even have little tabs so you know what your stuff, what is the Joyu stuff that's in there. That's really good packaging. Now I know why they make unboxing porn for people like me. What? It has a little stylus in here. That's pretty cool. Alright, and this is the, I guess the owner's manual maybe? Or instruction manual, I don't know. Let's see. Welcome to the Joyu brand game. User guides. Yeah, the English, it's there, but it's not really noticeable right now. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Alright, and let's see what else is in here. Again, a stylus which looks exactly like a Nintendo DS stylus. Let's see if we could get that. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. And let's see, I think that's a sticker in there. Oh, certificate of approval. Okay, it has one of these little quality assurance stamps in there. Well, one of these little, I don't know what they call them, but it seems that all the Chinese stuff always has it with their consoles. Ooh, it even comes with a screen protector. That's nice of them. And a Joyu branded cleaning cloth. You see, all this stuff is high quality, and look, they even have the Joyu logo right there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I think you can. They have the Joyu logo right there in the corner neatly. This is really, really good packaging, especially compared to all the rest of the stuff that we've seen in there where everything just looks like it was thrown in. But let's get to the console. Put this to the side. Alright. Joyou S430. Let's take a look at this. First impressions, I gotta say this is pretty good. It's noticeably thicker than the previous PSP clone that we had, the, what was that, the Super S10000A. Let's see. HD TV, what? No. That is not an HD TV jack. I think that's just for headphones, I would think. Or I don't know, this one says headphones and AV out. I don't know what that does. What the heck? Is that for an HD TV antenna? I don't know. Okay, then there's USB and microphone, on and off, micro SD. The feel of this is actually pretty good. Designed by Joyu. Let's see. And then plus and minus for volume, I guess. And that's weird. A power button up here, but I don't know. It says on and off down there at the bottom. That's weird. Maybe that's like sleep. I don't know. And also I noticed while I was holding it, the triggers, these are actually really good quality shoulder buttons. I love that click that it makes. And they're also thicker than they were on the 10000A, the Super unit. I'm going to have to bring it out when I come back so that way I could show you guys side by side the improvements on this. Because when you first look at this, you think like, dude, that is a Super 10000A or whatever, just, you know, rebranded. But no, it actually does feel a lot more different. Even the buttons feel different. They still have the Chinese D-pad. It's kind of like the Super one, how the top and bottom buttons are a little bit tapered right there at the bottom. So they kind of come in, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of this D-pad. But overall it's okay. The analog nub is pretty good. I gotta say that's a pretty good analog nub. Let's see, start, select. All these buttons feel pretty good. That is actually really nice. Like, there's not too much resistance. They just push down really nicely. They have a good travel. And I guess it already has a screen protector on there, so maybe that screen protector was just extra. That's really nice of them. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's everything that we could get right here. The J right here is embossed, which is really nice. Wow. Okay, where's the speakers? Shoot, they only have one. Just this one right here. But let's try turning this on. However it turns on. That maybe? There you go. Okay, Joyu logo. Joyu. I have high hopes for this one. I hope that it does do it well, because that last one was just junk. But you know what? Where it says generating playlists and everything, that looks exactly like the S10000A. So I'm not getting my hopes up. But I don't know. These icons right here, they all look like the icons that were on that Dingo A320. So maybe it is made by the same people. Even the background looks the same. Let's see. Let's just go to the games already. Game. Shoot, this is really looking like that S10000A. That's really disappointing me. Okay, how do we get in here? Okay, CPS, MD, which is Mega Drive, I would guess. It's all in Chinese. Neo, I guess Neo Geo. NES, Super Famicom, and that seems to be it. It's kind of disappointing. I think this is the exact same thing as the S10000A. I think I'm going to have to look into this a little bit more and see if it is truly the same. That's going to be disappointing if it is. Either way, let me spend some time with this, and then I will get back to you guys and tell you what's up. Alright everyone, I spent a few weeks with this device and I could tell you that it is terrifyingly bad. It needs a lot of work. It's really interesting that everything around the device was well done. Like I said, the packaging and just the way that it displays everything, you could tell that they tried to make this a quality unit. But there is one thing that absolutely kills it, and that is the controls. The controls are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Because when I first took it out of the box, as you saw, I was praising the controls. I was like, hey, this actually feels pretty nice. But after you wear it in for just even a couple days, even a few hours, then, and I really haven't even played this that much, because the controls, they just tend to break down. They'll get stuck, they don't register when you input them. They're also really badly placed, or actually I should say they're very badly spaced, because they're just too far apart from one another, so it doesn't really feel comfortable when you're using them. And especially with the D-pad, I kind of felt that when you're holding a D-pad, when you got your thumb on it, you should be able to just rock your thumb, and then that's how you're able to move. But with this one, it really feels like you have to actually tap and move around the controls like that. Which isn't helped, of course, because it has the Chinese D-pad where it's segmented and they're each their own separate button. And I will go ahead and just complain about China until I'm blue in the face about the Chinese D-pad, where it's 4 different buttons. Because really, I would hope that if this channel does any good in this world, it abolishes that D-pad right there. It gets stuck. And it's just so terrible. Ah, there you go. Look at that. Come on, focus. You see? It's stuck. Just after fiddling with it for just a little while, it gets stuck. And it'll just get stuck randomly in the game, and then it just keeps going to the right. So you see, it's terrible. And then, there, you have to pop it out. Now, as I suspected, the OS is the same as the Super S10000 that we saw earlier, so I'm not going to cover a lot of the games or the emulators that this thing supports. And also, it's kind of pointless too, because, as you can see, everything is pretty much in Chinese. So it's very hard to... they do actually have some cool games on here, but it's very hard to find them after you play them. Because, I don't read Chinese, so it's just very difficult for me to find the games that I was playing before. But otherwise, it seems that it's all just the same. There really isn't any difference right there. They also pulled off something that I thought would have been impossible. It seems that the PS1 emulator on this actually runs slower than it did on the Super S10000 that we saw earlier. That is incredible. If you're going to make a device that can run PS1 games, make sure that it can at least run Symphony of the Night. Also, I found out what the HDTV thing is on the back. Apparently it's for component out. Because right here you have AV out, which is composite of course, but right here you can actually get component video out of there. Because I didn't know this, but apparently they make 3.5mm cables that can do component out, and but it only does video. So you would get the video signal from here, but you would still get the audio signal from here, as far as like the composite cables, so then you just don't use the yellow cable right there. So this thing can actually put out component video, apparently. I don't have those cables, so I didn't try it out, but that is actually really cool. I never thought that would actually work, but that's incredible. I didn't even know that there was a 3.5 jack for component. And lastly, I wanted to show you guys the ebook on this thing, because it has text recognition, so it can actually read to you. Watch.
Can enter the shutdown state. When the device is turned off or on is in the on position,
See, it's reading the manual to you. So it already has a manual in here in text format, and you could put any book in here as long as it's in text format, and it will read it. And it's pretty impressive that it can recognize so many words. But as you can tell, it's also very robotic, and that's kind of creepy. I don't know. It's just a little unsettling for me. It freaks me out. 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 Thank you. And lastly, worst of all, it does not support DingX. I contacted the seller to ask him, hey, how do you install DingX on this thing? Because the OS is not DingX, of course. It's the same as the Super S10000. But, for instance, on the old Dingu handhelds, what you would be able to do is install it on there with a firmware flash. So I asked the seller, how do you install DingX on this thing? And I instantly knew that I was in for trouble because his response was, "Why would you want to install Dinguks?" So I explained to him that the frickin' title says it supports Dinguks, and that is the reason for me buying this device. He apologized and he claims that there was some miscommunication between him and the factory. But I still submitted a claim for a refund because this device is useless to me. I've already covered what it does in the Super S10000 video. Initially, he did contest my refund claim, and it was pretty obvious that it was just an honest mistake on his part. And then something incredible happened. He actually gave me a full refund. And it's so weird because he didn't send me a message or anything, he just granted the refund and case closed, that's it. So I guess there are some sellers on AliExpress who can acknowledge when they've made a mistake and give the benefit of the doubt to the buyer. Well, overall I gotta say this is a very disappointing handheld. The controls alone make it unplayable. But they had some good ideas with it, and that's what makes it so disappointing because it had so much potential that got wasted. I mean, it has this HD TV out with the component cables, which I have never seen on any other Chinese handheld. So that could have been really cool. But, again, they just got lazy. And then that's why this console ended up like it did, you know, with the Chinese D-pad, with the OS that is just a throwaway OS that, you know, belongs on other Chinese devices that don't use Android. And really, it's just so disappointing. And not only that, but the seller advertised that it uses Dinguks, and it really doesn't, so that kind of kills the review that I had planned. And either way, just very disappointing. It shows that they can only go so far before getting lazy, and then something like this comes out. Again, there's a lot of wasted potential here. But hopefully next time we'll see a better device, and hopefully it won't be as disappointing as this one. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.